If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creational tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast. Go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello and welcome back to Single Mother Chronicles. On last night I started a Bedtime mini-series. It's basically stemming from a previous podcast episode that I did that gave you single mother tips on being successful. On last night we discussed tip number 1, how your kids are always watching you, so you have to be mindful. Tonight we will be discussing tip number 2 and 3. Jumping right into it, let's start with tip number 2. You do not want to drown yourself in guilt. There have been times where I have had to just constantly work and I felt so bad that I felt like I wasn't spending enough time with my kids. But on the other hand, I knew that I had to provide financially for them. I knew that bills had to get paid, and I would beat myself up about not being there enough for them. You just can't do that. I'm guilty of it. You just can't do it. I've learned to go with the flow, work my schedule, my 9 to 5, and then when I'm home, I dedicate my time to them. Another thing that stems from guilt or you feeling guilty is that most mothers feel that type of guilt because their child or children are growing up in the home without the father being present. But this is not even our fault. It's no fault of our own. So we can't do that. We just have to realize that we can't feel guilty about not being able to spend enough time with them. And we can't feel guilty about doing this and doing that or not being able to do this and that. We can only do our best. Moving on to tip number 3. Do not, and I repeat, do not hesitate to ask for help. We all, as a single mother, we should have a support system of friends and family that will be able to help us out when we need a break. If we have a great support system, you shouldn't feel bad about asking for a little free time when you're overwhelmed. Sometimes you just need to unwind. You need some alone time, some me time. There's nothing wrong with that. Only thing you have to do is ask. Ask someone in your support system to look after the kids for a while, for an hour or 2. It's not always easy being a single mother, but just know that you can raise a child successfully as a single mother. As a mother, we're going to work. We're going to work hard. We are going to provide. We're also going to make time for the extra stuff that we're going to do with our kids. As long as we're balancing it out, maintaining the schedule and going day to day, asking for help when we need it, we'll be fine. These are tips 2 and 3 on tonight.